Tomorrow is primary election day in campaign 2023 as voters decide who moves on to the general election in several big local races.
That does include the race for Wichita mayor, an at-large seat on the Wichita School Board, and the next council member for Wichita's District 4. Alex Jurgens caught up with the local election officials as early voting wrapped up. He's live with a look at that turnout.
Well, Mike and Rachel, early voting for this year's primary has resulted in a 5.9% voter turnout rate between advanced mail-in ballots and early in-person voting. Take a look. This was shot before noon. Some last-minute early voters at the historic courthouse took advantage of early voting. Over 8,000 advanced ballots have been received, and around 7,300 people voted early in person starting last week. Now, tomorrow's voting will occur during a very hot day, and although there will not be cooling stations set up, Sedgwick County Election Commissioner Laura Rainwater says they don't anticipate long lines, so the process should move along quickly, and suggests voters getting out early before the heat of the day.
The process is pretty quick. You will be in and out of that polling site in under 2 or 3 minutes. There's not much preparation to it when you only have 2 or 3 races on the ballot.
The polls will be open bright and early at 6 a.m. One of those spots is here at Central Christian Church in Northeast Wichita. The polls will close at 7 o'clock tomorrow night. If you have not yet voted, you must vote in person at your respective polling location. To find out which one you need to go to, we have a link on how to look up your address under this story at kwch.com. Live in Wichita, Alex Jurgens, 12 News.
Some of the big races and questions we're following here in Sedgwick County. Remember, we'll have results on air and over on the app, but 9 candidates on the ballot for Wichita mayor. Top 2 will move on to the general in November. Also a City Council District 4 race and the Wichita School Board seat. Again, the top 2 move on. There is a sales tax question we'll follow. That's out of Park City. Another big issue we've followed the past few months, that's the Central Plains School District. It will vote on whether or not to dissolve. This comes after a decision to close the Wilson Junior Senior High. That vote will impact 11 towns in that district, so we'll watch that one closely. If you're wanting to learn more about the Wichita mayoral candidates before you vote, I sat down with all of the candidates who had agreed to be interviewed, so you can watch those unedited versions on the 12 News app right now. Click on Get to Know the Candidates to see all of those. 2 candidates did not respond to requests for interview, but you can watch the 7 other candidates. Again, that's all available right now on the 12 News app.
A reminder, if you have a mail-in ballot, it must be postmarked by the close of polls on Election Day and received at the election office no later than this upcoming Friday. In order to count, to make sure it's received, you can take it in person to any secure ballot drop box. We do have a link to find those on the 12 News app, or you can take it to any polling place during voting hours. Here's another look at those early voting numbers that the Sedgwick County Election Office shared this afternoon. The election office says that there were in total more than 15,000 early in-person voters and advanced mail ballots. In-person voters made up about 7,300 of that total, and about 8,100 were advanced mail-in ballots. Those numbers come out to a turnout percentage of 5.9%. I
mentioned the Park City vote. Voters in Park City, they're deciding whether or not to approve a 1-cent sales tax increase. Prescription drugs, food, and for homebound residents and medical devices are exempt from this tax. City leaders say the sales tax increase has been proposed to fund various improvements around that city.